He's like my dad in a lot of ways. Once he and I got together, I knew that the combination was going to be magical.
We've had an unbelievable chemistry.
Really?
Sitting next to me right now is the best singer in the world.
This is not a drill. Clive Davis is dead. Right now, everybody line up, oldest to youngest. What happened? Get the biopics out now. He cannot hurt you anymore. He has no power over you.
For years, one of the biggest mysteries surrounding Whitney Houston has been the note she quietly handed to Brandy while Clive Davis was standing just a few feet away. What made that moment even more haunting was that only hours later, Whitney was found dead in her hotel room, leaving countless people wondering what was written on that piece of paper. Now, with Clive Davis reportedly gone, speculation has resurfaced, and some believe long-held industry secrets could finally come to light. Rumors are already swirling that artists may begin sharing stories about their experiences, and according to these claims, Brandy is now allegedly reconsidering the promise she made to never reveal what Whitney wrote. Some even claim the note could point towards suspicions of foul play, though none of those allegations have been substantiated. Whatever the truth may be, it's a story that continues to fascinate fans years later.
Whitney Houston. Now, I knew you had a connection to her, but I didn't realize, and you write in the book, that shortly before her death, you had a lengthy phone call with her.
I did.
What was that call?
It mattered so much to me because I got a chance to tell her everything I hadn't told her, just how much she inspired me, how much I loved her, her impact in my life. And yeah, it was an emotional conversation. I didn't know it was going to be my last time speaking to her.
According to the claims in this story, Clive Davis has reportedly passed away, with his publicist stating that he died at his home in Manhattan after battling respiratory problems. His family released a statement saying, "To the world, our father was the iconic music legend whose vision, instinct, and relentless pursuit of excellence shaped the soundtrack of countless lives he discovered, mentored, and championed the greatest artists in modern music history, leaving an indelible mark on culture that will endure for generations." His reported passing has sparked mixed reactions. On one hand, many remember him as one of the most influential executives in music history, credited with discovering and developing countless legendary artists. On the other hand, critics have long accused him of helping create an industry system that favored record labels over the artists themselves, pointing to financial disputes involving acts like TLC and Toni Braxton as examples of the music business's unfair practices. Others have gone even further, making serious allegations about his influence and methods, including one commenter who wrote, "Clive Davis taught Sean Combs everything he knew about power in the record business, including wording your artists to make yourself richer in the end, and about intimidation, making enemies disappear, and not to forget constant essay as a tool to control." Those claims remain unverified. Whitney Houston first met Clive Davis in 1983 at the Sweetwater nightclub before signing with Arista Records at just 19 years old. Early in her career, she often described him as both a mentor and an industry father figure, crediting him for helping shape her debut album and guiding her through the music business, even though they reportedly disagreed over the direction of her music.
What was it? What did you see in him? What made him different? Why Clive Davis?
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom, his know-how. For a lot of artists, I wanted the guidance. I wanted to know, what made a hit record, and what made me, special, and it could be any.
As Whitney's career reached unimaginable heights, reports suggest that her relationship with Clive Davis became increasingly strained, with some claiming his influence eventually conflicted with her desire for greater artistic freedom. By 2012, it was widely reported that the two were no longer particularly close. During that period, one of the people Whitney reportedly trusted most was Brandy. Their friendship began in 1995 and quickly grew into a mentor-protege relationship, with Whitney later helping Brandy land the role of Cinderella in the 1997 television film so they could work together. One of the most talked about moments in their friendship came during an interview where Whitney unexpectedly appeared alongside Monica and Clive Davis. At first, everyone assumed she had simply stopped by to show support. Whitney greeted everyone warmly, mentioned that she had nearly drowned earlier that day, and while Clive's attention was elsewhere, she quietly slipped a handwritten note to Brandy. According to the story, Whitney even called over her daughter, Bobby Christina, to hug Clive, allegedly creating enough of a distraction for Brandy to read the note without anyone noticing.
This is you. Today. Shut this up. I'm just saying you want to do it because I can't. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? We're paying tribute. This is my dad. It's my dad. I'll see you later. I'll see you later. Mom, come say hi. Come say hi. Come say hi to your dad, okay? Come say hi to your dad.
After that interview wrapped up, reports claim Brandy spent nearly 3 hours on the phone with Whitney. And just 2 days later, Whitney Houston tragically passed away. Because of that timeline, Brandy is often described as one of the last people to have had a lengthy conversation with her. Over the years, fans have repeatedly questioned what made Whitney feel compelled to deliver that note in person. Brandy has consistently maintained that she would never publicly reveal its contents, only saying that Whitney told her she was going to get better before her unexpected death. According to the claims in this story, Clive Davis's reported passing has now prompted Brandy to reconsider that silence, with some alleging that fear had always been the real reason she kept the note private. Those claims remain speculative, and no evidence has been publicly presented confirming the contents of the note or the allegations surrounding it.
In that 1995 meeting in Beverly Hills in the home of Clive Davis, who was responsible for the murder of Whitney Houston, I said it. His days are numbered.
When Brandy gave that interview in 2012, she and Monica were preparing to release their collaboration, It All Belongs to Me, at the time. Monica still worked closely with Clive Davis and reportedly wanted his approval before recording with Brandy. Reports claimed Clive supported the collaboration because he hoped to build a stronger relationship with Brandy and possibly sign her to one of his labels. According to these claims, Whitney Houston became worried and rushed to warn Brandy, handing her a note that allegedly told her to stay away from Clive if she did not want to end up trapped in a contract she never wanted. When Whitney first started her career, Clive reportedly surrounded her with people he trusted, saying they would help her succeed. But critics claim many were ultimately loyal to him and helped maintain control over her career in 1987. Michael Jackson reportedly invited Whitney to record I Just Can't Stop Loving You with him, and she happily agreed, but Arista Records allegedly blocked the duet because of supposed scheduling issues later. The same thing reportedly happened with If I Told You That Whitney believed both collaborations were intentionally stopped because working with Michael, who owned his masters and had far more creative freedom, might inspire her to seek the same independence. Instead, Clive reportedly paired her with Aretha Franklin, another Arista artist, a move critics say also benefited the label financially. Whitney continued pushing for greater control until she signed a historic $100 million deal in 2001, with reports saying she received $40 million upfront, while future payments depended on album sales. Later claims suggested the label expected she would never fully earn the remaining money promotion for her later albums. Reportedly slowed with digital piracy, blamed for poor sales, while critics argued the label allowed her career to decline as she remained tied to the contract. By the time Whitney realized what was happening, reports claimed she owed nearly $20 million and years of substance abuse had damaged her voice, making a comeback much harder. Some allegations also claim her contract included a death clause that financially benefited the label after her passing, leading critics to question why Clive continued his annual party at the same hotel on the night Whitney died, despite often calling her family.
Well, you're a very small minority because if you knew Whitney better, you knew she was not there to perform.
Yeah.
This was her favorite night of the year. She came out every year. This party was so part of her.
So you're saying that she
that the family, we spoke to representatives of Pat, who was a manager, and Gary, who was her brother.
Her body was still upstairs.
But we dedicated the evening Whitney would have wanted this party to go on any more than the Grammys should stop.
Some people who support these theories claim Whitney feared something bad was coming and wanted at least one trusted person to know her concerns if anything ever happened to her. Whether those claims are true remains heavily disputed, but many believe the controversy surrounding Whitney permanently changed how people viewed Clive Davis and his relationship with Black artists after Brandy's comments brought the discussion back. Critics once again accused Clive of profiting from artists while limiting their control over their own careers. Supporters of Whitney argue that she gave him years of loyalty only to feel abandoned when she needed help the most, while others believe he restricted her creative and financial freedom throughout her career. These allegations remain widely debated, but they continue to spark strong conversations today. What do you think about all of this? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, baddies.